Welcome back to Whitt Acres. In just 2 weeks, I have goats coming onto the homestead. So today in this video, we're getting started on building the goat pen. I think by the time I get them, they'll still be small enough to keep them inside the barn and the barn pen here. So in the last video, we made a quick feeder and a shelter out of an IBC tote. So if you want to go check that one out, but I want to get them outside as soon as possible. So I want to get an enclosure built up and fenced in behind the barn here. Behind my barn here, I have this section of grassy area that we're just using for storage right now. This is an old maple tree that fell down on the property a couple years ago. It's about 100 years old and it fell down. So we have it stacked up back here aging. And I think I can use some of the wood out of that. I always try and use everything I can from the things on the property. So we do have this wood that I'm going to be using from the maple trees. We already used up all the branches, grinding them up and using as mulch for the gardens. There's some of the larger wood that's still good. I'm going to try and find uses for it, but the other wood that's a little bit more rotted and not as strong, we're going to just burn for heat for the house in our wood burner. I don't need to move the whole pile right now. I would actually like to leave it there for the goats to climb on, but I do need to make access back to this corner and back around the other side. So I'm gonna have to move these long straight logs that I already set aside to keep, and I'm gonna have to move this small pile of logs that I set aside to keep. These are actually 2 utility poles that were originally from the lean-to on the front of the barn that we tore down, and I kept those to use again. And there's a couple branches here that were actually large enough and straight enough that I think I can use as legs for a building. This is actually the framework that I'm planning on using for the goat hut that's going to go back here for their actual shelter outside. Once I move all those logs, I'll have access to the back corner of my property. Our property ends pretty much where Echo is. So I want to get this corner leveled out. It's kind of a ditch hole right there where the groundhogs and the dogs have been always digging. So I want to get this whole corner leveled out on the ground and then get this pushed into the actual corner and get all of these pipe out of here and organized to where I can see what I have and possibly use some of these as fence posts. Once I get this all cleared out, I should be able to square a fence around this log pile about 40 feet by 30 feet and give them a nice good size 1,200 square foot pen. So I have about an hour left of sunlight. I'm going to try and get the 4 corners laid out for the goat pen. We got this area leveled off again and got all the fencing restacked nice and neat. I also got all the piping and block that was in there pulled out and organized, so now I know how much piping I actually have. There's definitely some posts I can use for fence posts in there. I also got some of the wood pile moved, so now I can get access to where I need to put some fence posts, I think, at least. It's going to be somewhere around this white mark, maybe not directly on it, but I'm going to be going right down this gap here, so I don't have to move these yet until I need them. I can put the fence right through the middle here. It's going to be a little difficult to find square here for this box because usually you can go across diagonally from corner to corner and do some math to make sure that you have a right angle on your starting point. But I won't be able to do a measurement diagonally because I have a big old wood pile here, so it's going to be really hard to go from corner over there over the wood pile accurately. So if we do a drone shot, this fence might end up a little out of square. I want to have some access around the outside of the fence, so I'm going to be bringing it into probably that flag as my starting point. That way I'll still be able to get the mower in and through this corner and around in front of those trees. So this is going to go straight across there 40 feet, and then we're going to go down this way 30 feet. I have some flags, some marking paint, and a measuring wheel, which is going to be a lot easier than rolling out a tape measure. I got as far as I wanted to get today, so tomorrow I think I'm going to start setting some posts. Make sure to subscribe down below so you can follow along with this goat pen build. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.